Hello everyone and welcome back to City Skylines, the 1 hour a day build in the town of Lifström with me, your host, Clicker, and insane mayor, Zerberus. Yesterday, if you remember right, we didn't actually do much building. Most of what we did was traffic fixes, particularly here in our new oil industry area. Obviously, fixing the traffic here caused the traffic to go a little bit, pear-shaped over here. But we're getting there. We've got, I think, back up to like 75 or 80%. So, without further ado, I'll crack open a beer and let's get to it. Cheers. So, let's let this run again. And just get, exactly, we got a lot of abandonment and not enough customers over here. That was just basically a result, one, of the traffic that we had before, and now it's a result of some imbalances, primarily a large need for commercial zones. Obviously, a necessity for commercial zones is going to bring with it a necessity for residential areas, and we're probably going to need residents relatively soon anyway. As soon as these start, well, actually, I think workers isn't really an issue. Yeah, workers, I mean, basically everybody seems to want to work in the oil industry. I think we have pretty low unemployment, or what's the story there? Oh, we actually have pretty high unemployment. Probably because we don't have the commercial zones to keep our industry running, right? No, actually, we have... Okay, interesting. So... First thing we apparently need is a new commercial zone in some way, shape, or form. And hello, thank you for the follow, Zephyr Ghost. Welcome to the channel. I used to stream in 720p, but unfortunately my ISP decided that I only need 2 Mbits of bandwidth. So for the next few weeks until I get a new internet connection, I'm unfortunately forced to stream in 480p. But yeah, again, sometime within the next, I think, 4 to 6 weeks sometime, I'm gonna have 10 Mbits of upload, and then I'll be back to 720 60, possibly even 1080 60, depending on whether or not I manage to get my hands on a 3070 or not, because I think the NVENC encoder on my 1060, I don't think it's going to like me streaming in 1080. So exactly where was I? We were going to figure out where to plunk down some commercial. Where would it make sense? We could have, like, factory outlets, so to speak, like along here. Oh, but that might cause a huge issue with cross traffic. Well, shouldn't cause too much of an issue. Huh. Wouldn't be anything massive, but it might actually do the trick. Let's see what we can get out of this. Just like some... Wait a sec. Do we have... Well, we could try leisure in this little area, but I don't... Well, when you think about it... But then again, I think our big we need customers issue is primarily for general goods. So, you know what? What happened here? Why did those offices go pear-shaped? That one can be bigger too, right? Yeah, that makes much more sense. So obviously they're going to want water just like everybody else. So thing is, we don't want. You never ever got tourism. Tourism and leisure, yeah, to a point where they make dollars. Honestly, most of my money is primarily probably coming from industry and parks. I originally wanted to not use like these cheater park crossings, but look at how many people are running through there. It was just like, no, no, that was just too good to pass up. And I mean, we've, yeah. Do I have to say anything more? 500,000 people have already ran through there. We've only been here for 2 weeks, and it's making 12,000 a week. And yeah, we've got another one on the other side that's also making 11,000 a week. So yeah, there's that. I think we actually have another one of those, actually another pair, but they're not doing quite as well. Yeah, they're only making another 12,000. And then the industry, of course, is actually, I think, is actually making quite a bit of money. Although we're currently actually in a situation where we're having overproduction. So we're actually having a problem that we have not enough customers, both for our oil industry for most of it, which was okay. That was actually to be expected. Why are they having a traffic problem, a garbage problem up there? They shouldn't be. For some mysterious reason, they always seem to be having a problem with garbage pickup in this industrial area, even though the traffic has really become quite reasonable. But yeah, that's actually the whole reason we want to build commercial right now. Exactly. So let's get back to that. We'll just take a 2-lane road off of here, and we want to make it so that coming through this as like a shortcut to get over to the other industrial area is just like totally pointless. Yeah, well, totally pointless is basically never going to be achievable, just because the next connections are, well, actually, oh no, that's the rail line. That's right. Yeah, you know what? We'll just take that off of here and just come down right across here. Be done with it. Zone the whole thing as standard heavy-duty commercial. I do regard this as a stopgap measure, though, more than anything else, because I'm not too convinced that this is a good place to even want or have commercial. Although, then again, would actually be, if we were going to run public transport through here, that would actually be a great place to have a stop, because that would actually then feed both industrial areas. We'll think about it. We'll think about it. Yeah, but exactly, to get back onto the topic of tourism and leisure, the last city I built, which was, what did that end up being called? New Fishburg? Whoa! That amount of sick people, that tells me yeah, and I know exactly what the problem is. Ah, Tim, you dumbass. You want to take a wild guess? That's a water pumping station. This is an industrial area. I intentionally never zoned any sort of industry around this corner because of the water pumping station. Yeah, but what did I just do last episode? We mass zoned the whole thing because I'm a dumbass. So yeah, let's get rid of some of this industry real fast. Where is exactly is I almost guarantee it's coming from here. We're going to take a quick look at the pollution just to make sure, and yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's our zoned industry, especially the ones right up here next to it. So yeah, guys, no. You are now offices. Yeah, that was just a really, really stupid move. And something I really... I'm better than that. So I'm kind of kicking myself. But it shouldn't take too long for the ground pollution to go away. And I think we need an achievement for 6 citizens anyway, so. I just don't really want to kill everybody. Wait a sec. How good is our water production anyway? Our availability should be through the roof. Yeah, we have more than we need anyway, so what we'll actually do, just for the time being, is actually disconnect that until the pollution's gone. And boom! Problem solved. I I knew letting the Umbrella Corporation do our water was not going to be a good idea. I mean, here, we went and built this for them, but what do we get for that? Poisoned citizens. Yeah. Again, some things already really look like a great idea on paper, and then you think about who you're actually working with, and you realize, no, that was a bad idea. So these are our commercial. This is our leisure, and here we actually have not enough customers, so we are going to wind up needing residential probably sooner rather than later. And again, we're obviously going to hook this back up to water eventually, but yeah, we're going to wait for this to look a little better. Oh my god, seriously. Pumping water from polluted land. Yeah, that sounds like the Umbrella Corporation. Wait a sec. That might be an idea. Because this is back here. You know what? That might improve garbage collection significantly. Well, let's just see what the story is here. Where is he? Yeah, he's up there. That's not too bad. Where is he? There isn't one sent out for that yet. There isn't one sent out for that yet. Okay, that's not something I like to see. The good thing is we're having not enough buyers, but we're not getting not enough goods at the same time, because that's actually a sign of something much more horrific, that being that you have broken pathfinding, and that will just basically screw you completely. 114 dead people. Oh yeah, that's probably primarily as a result of poisoning our drinking water supply. I get a feeling that, yeah, because yeah, these are all the people that were sick, so yeah. How's their healthcare up here? It's actually pretty screwed up. So it's actually not that screwed up. They don't really need more than like a clinic maybe down here, and then they're like totally sorted. I have to anarchy in a clinic. Seriously, is that a park? Don't want to put that on a park. It's an elementary school, just as bad. Don't want to put that on the elementary school. But across the road from the elementary school, that'll work. Yeah, no, that should all be sorted. Healthcare availability is, of course, above the number of 6 citizens because, again, we poisoned our water supply. That should go down. At least the coroners have something to do for a change. Traffic flow, exactly. This was what we were looking at. This, it's improved a little bit, but still not to the point where we like it. So we may still wind up going with those bundles that I was thinking about instead of with that roundabout. This is also something we need to take a long-term look at. What's going on down here again? That's not the way this is supposed to work, guys. You do know that, right? Oh, I see what's going on. So there was apparently some flooding down here. These are vacuum trucks. So that's, yeah, okay. So that's a short-term issue. So that's not something we're gonna consider right now. This particular intersection jams up every... Oh! Which dumbass put a traffic light there? Got any more of those? Those are parked. That's not a problem. What is... Oh, that looks pretty cool. Like a cafe or something. Almost looks like a little park that I might have put in on purpose. That's why at first I was like, when did I do that? So this is slightly improving, I think. Yeah, we're going to want a crossing here. We're just once again going to do one of our pedestrian bridge builder avant-garde thingies. Use the Move It mod to bring the nodes down to a more reasonable height. I mean, this is a pedestrian bridge, not a ski ramp. It looks much better. So obviously that means some more zoning back in here. Oh, and those two are actually colliding right there. That said, this one could come down a little bit as well. And then that'll actually not even be too bad, because then I can just use the Move It mod and move this node back a little bit. And, sorry about that. This node back a bit, move this node back just a hair. Yeah, that looks just fine. In fact, this one's actually still too high. Didn't want to do just one side. There, that looks much better. No, now it's uneven though. Is that even? That looks even. Maybe that will help them navigate through this crossing a little bit better. We're probably going to need another one of our avant-garde, but well, you know what? We can just tell pedestrians to go screw. No, we can't, because they can't get over here. That's right. So, yeah, we need one more bridge. But this one we're just going to throw in by hand. Oh, that's why I can't put this in without anarchy. That's right. I remember now. Because these are all historical buildings. That's why it's forcing me to anarchy these in. So that one come down a little bit. Because they already have a way to get off on that block, just, yeah, it's over here, so for here it's just a little bit of a distance to walk, but that's what basically we now put bridges over everything, allow the traffic to flow, but that's not going to help the traffic flow because the problem is a different one, that being it's just too much. And we still need to, I think we're still not going to get past creating bypass lanes here. If nothing else, for them to go to here. It's not so much of an issue the other way around. Dead people 95. Coroner capacity should still be okay though, right? Yeah, crematoriums are not the problem. Oh, that's right, but we're emptying these cemeteries as well. So maybe maybe now would be a good time to reactivate them, at least for the short term. At least until they fill back up again. Where was the third one? There it was. Because they should be like half empty now, and now we can send out, and they can send out a lot more coroner vehicles, so that should sort that. What's the story on this commercial zone now? How much of a traffic nightmare have we caused? Not as bad as I expected, but still worse than we hoped. So This is the part where this becomes a 4-lane road, so that they get individual turning lanes in each direction. So that if nothing else, at least this doesn't wind up gumming up. Yeah, but that's exactly what we were afraid of, that we might wind up with a lot more cross traffic than we hoped. I'm thinking if we maybe don't want to make the ways in one way or not, and just have like a collective way out up here to the highway. Oh, wait a second. Their primary issue is not enough customers, right? Yeah. And that's just our little leisure area. So leisure is really, yeah, it's always a bit hard to keep that going properly. Oh, but that does seem, with the exception of here, to have worked out quite well. So what do we need to do here? Because what we've got here now, let's check routing tools. Like, for example, this guy, yeah, of course they want to go there. They want to go somewhere out here. So they're not going through for the most part. That's nice. But what we need is a better way for them to get in. It's really a lot closer to that than I want it to be. One node between it, that's really not enough. But we can actually, if nothing else, we'll take them out of the equation. Just with a straight shot over here. Oh, and that's also probably part of the problem. Yeah, exactly. We forgot to set up a dedicated... No, we didn't forget to set up dedicated turning lanes here. Yeah, but now we've got a lot more people coming out here, so that's working. And we're finding the next problem. Well, it's not really... What are they doing now? Oh my god, did I really just... So anybody who's making a pickup and coming up off of here actually is kind of screwed. So that needs to be an office. Those two need to be offices. Just so that anyone making a pickup can get out of that lane in time. Just trying to get to there. Where exactly are people going that are using that road exactly? That's the question we should be asking. Yeah, some of them are trying to get back out in here. So there is a certain amount of cross traffic, without any doubt. But interestingly enough, it's not actually that bad. As going over this way, it's actually much worse coming back this way for some reason. I don't like this. This is still okay, that's a problem. Yeah, you know what? We just don't really have another choice. And I mean, they're all coming up. Wait a sec, where are they exactly? Before I build a road that we don't need, where are they? They're mostly going up there, but a lot of them are also coming all the way over. They're trying to, they're trying to get onto the highway here? That's not something I would have expected. So that means we probably have... Do we not have a fire department out here? Or can they just not get here? The fire department's right there, so why did that burn down? Oh well. Things happen. Even in a well-running city. How to sort this? I mean, a lot of them are already coming even from here. So that might actually be our solution. Yeah. That's our solution. That's our solution. Phew, how do we implement it though? I don't like that angle. That looks much better. Just allow them to get off faster. And then we flip this up to a 2-lane so they can merge. And you just pop this up to a 2-lane so they can merge as well. And a 2-lane there so that they can choose. Well, actually, they don't have to choose here yet. There is no choice. Choice is an illusion. Why is that though? Which whoa, look at them feet out in there though. That's so much that it's almost to the point of blocking the harbor. And that's the line I think that comes out up here, right? Because this was the one that fed back to the fishing area, if I remember right. Let's check. Yeah, that's the one that feeds out up here. So yeah, now they're actually just not coming through here to go to the highway anymore, so they're just jumping off here and taking that slight detour. I do think that works better overall though. Set our merging just to make sure nobody does anything stupid. And that should work. Well, what do I mean should work? It is working. Because then they get fed right here onto here, they get into this lane, they can switch 2 or 3 times, yeah, and then it just flows out. Not the solution I expected to implement, but oh, that's working just fine. Here though, we're still having a bit of a problem. Well, although the people coming over this direction aren't actually that bad. But there's still enough to completely gum up this intersection, so exactly 3-lane asymmetrical roads for everywhere, for everyone. And that should at least slightly ungum that. That just gives everyone turning lanes. If nothing else, that should allow them to get out of the intersection a little bit faster and more easily. Well, yeah, that basically solved everything. Excellent. Whoops, no. We want to upgrade that to a 3-lane as well. Excellent, that's what we wanted. That's also what we wanted. That's not what we wanted. I like how it automatically gives us those turning lanes too. No, that's exactly the way we didn't want it. Up there, that little stretch, we shouldn't need it. Down there, that little stretch, we shouldn't need it. And here, that should basically just have kind of de-chunkified everything. Put a 4-lane in there so that we get... No, we don't actually need a 4-lane. We can do with a 3-lane asymmetrical here, because they can only turn off in one direction anyway. There. Now that looks a lot better. This is flowing reasonably well. We're starting to get some demands again. Well, not starting, or we still have demands, I think would probably be the proper way to say that. 1 second, lost the Twitch stream. How long has this been going anyway? 31 minutes? Okay, that's when I expected. Okay. So, what's the traffic look like now? Because that could, of course, also have a spillover effect. Improving something else by mistake. Not yet. If at all. What was that? Oh, now we got a traffic light over here again, of course. Because the game just likes to screw me like that. It's not actually that heavy that should be a problem. Oh, you know what? I think I forgot. Yeah, didn't we want to ban traffic on the outside lanes of this? Just so that people could make deliveries without getting into the flow, giving us 4 lanes for flow? Yeah, I think there was something about that we wanted to do. Although it's not really that bad. Not really causing a massive issue. Oh, but we can definitely set up dedicated turning lanes here, of course. That way everybody that's going through just stays out of that lane completely. I think we may have not done that anywhere around here now that I think about it. Yeah, we didn't do that anywhere. Did I just send them off there by mistake? Did they even want to go that way? Yeah, you're going to want to get out of that outside lane. That was the whole point, guys. Set up our junction restrictions. Make sure they can change their lanes, or pick their lanes, I should say. Those don't get to flow through. They always get to flow through. Oh, just for the pedestrian crossings, okay. And we can leave those there. Although that is such a short jump off the highway, we're going to want to let them flow. Well, actually, there's not that much going on up here. Shouldn't be a problem. No traffic lights up there that I can see. didn't set this up to be a priority road yet. No, I don't think I did. Yeah, that's the way we want it, exactly. And that took the whole road. So that should be that. Oh yeah, this is looking much better now. Even with some... Whew, what's going on here now? Let me guess. 10,000 people that don't want to come this way to get into that industry area, but want to come through here. It's hilarious sometimes how what the... How a small change somewhere where you don't expect it to make a difference will suddenly just completely screw everything. We obviously still have despawning turned on because some people are despawning. What is... Something's flooding. Something was flooding. As soon as the vacuum truck is gone. That's what I hate about the pumping service. Sometimes you think you have a huge traffic problem, and no, it's just some building on the probably even this. It was flooding. That's all that was happening. Yeah, I mean, this is all just built so close to the ocean that, yeah, it's... Where is... Ah, for a second there I thought I was actually able still to see the water. And as soon as he's done, then everybody gets to roll again. Oh God, seriously? Yeah, okay, so that's something we're gonna... Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't like that at all. Then again, that may still be a result of vehicles sent out with the old pathfinding. Don't like that at all. God, what? Building that just like killed our traffic completely, or what? Now we're getting flooding back here? How the hell does that even happen? You know what? I'm gonna solve that flooding issue by just very, very slightly lowering sea level. No, 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 not raising. Now everything should be a little bit less exposed. Yeah, that should... Just that little tip should solve most of our flooding issues, except for possibly this harbor. Although I'm not really sure they're flooded. I mean, again, this is a water structure. In fact, this needs to actually go down a little bit. Otherwise, they're going to have a problem getting ships in. I'm not sure it needs to go down that much, but who cares? Did we really just drag water level down that far? This thing's just bouncing along that rock chasm, like, so yeah. Not really a fan of having to do this, but does not appear that we have all too much of a choice if we don't want to have ships stranding constantly. In fact, we'll just use an even larger brush size and just come in through here. I think that's more or less where the shipping lane was. Again, this is not necessarily the solution I wanted, but yeah, the map is just built so low that it's basically the solution we're almost forced to use. It's not going to impact the coastline in any real way. Yeah, this side here is already all level 0. So now we'll use a bit of a smaller brush again and just carve it out straight directly in front of the harbors and nowhere else. And a lot of the flooding we're getting now is just as a result of the terraforming. Because, I mean, this is the way tsunamis happen. That's all it is just large amounts of land moving underwater. That's what causes tsunamis. So, yeah, we should not be too surprised if we get a tsunami or two right now. But I think we're doing just fine. It actually gives us a little bit more space up here to build on. That's actually not too bad. Now we could actually consider like putting like a commercial beach in here or something like that. What's the story on our... Oh yeah, on our fishing industry is having a bit of a problem getting to the water though, so let's just help them out. That's actually probably also going to change the kind of fish that we have in there, but I don't think that's going to be a huge issue. Oh, that doesn't look nice though. We do want our algae farms and things to be on water. Like we'll just kind of like turn this into like a rocky coast. I think that'll work. Of course, we're going to get flooding from the terraforming, but I think that's going to work out just fine. And we still have our 2 harbors. We may, again, still add a 3rd one over here. Or where can we reasonably add that without it causing us problems? Ideally, visually, I'd love to add it in here. Just to, like, make this, like, oh, that's right, and in the long term, we'll also have, like, our shipyard in here as well. So this harbor... Yeah, this one will definitely plop in. We'll just turn it off for the time being, though, because we don't actually need it. It's really just currently as a visual, more as a visual aid than anything else. Exactly, and then we'll have like our shipyards in here somewhere. And then put like one or two more well, at least one more harbor out here, just so the oil industry doesn't have to dick around with their harbor up there. Did I just put a harbor in there? Dumbass me? Yeah, of course. Of course, nobody wants a harbor in here. It needs to be a cargo hub. But yeah, let's put one in here first. That works somewhat. Not quite, though. Let's move that a little bit. It works a little bit better, but that's not quite where I wanted to move it to. There, that's where I wanted to move it to. Thank you, game, for playing along. Obviously, that needs to be done, and we need to add rail lines going over. But again, this is not necessarily going to actually be a functioning cargo hub. The other two do actually have a reason to exist. This one's really just for looks for the most part. So we may also, and things like that, those are actually things that we may end up changing in the long term. To be honest, most of this industrial area, I was thinking like an oil and shipyard and thing like that complex, and I still have that idea, but we may wind up tearing out all sorts of stuff to actually accomplish that in the long term. Oh, seriously, did that terraforming cause us flooding up here? How did that happen? We lowered the water level. I thought, at least. Is that really all still just from terraforming? Damn, what? Something tells me the water level is not where it's supposed... No, it totally is. The water level is here. So nothing up here should actually be flooded. So that's all basically just runoff because the ground is so flat. Oh yeah, and you can actually see it flowing back, I think. We'll definitely... What the... I mean, we've exposed land out here. So there's obviously... Dude, what the hell, man? Did we terraform so much that we're just flooding the entire coastline now? Jesus. Yeah, exactly. Now they have no water. That's no... Is that really where the coastline originally was? No way, man. Yeah, exactly. Now we don't even have water up in there anymore in the river. Well, that said, wait a sec. Water in the river comes from the river. So, that's not a legitimate argument. I would say, like, at least the original water level was probably like here. What? Division by zero, system divide by zero exception. Oh, Holly City Park has reached level 3 somehow. What the? Yes, move sea level, please. Let's, like, move sea level to where the only thing that still has access to anything are, like, the harbors. And maybe the offshore rigs would probably like some as well. Yeah, I mean, that's where sea level used to be, is here. Why is this such a hyper massive problem? Oh yeah, this is basically a tsunami, so... Yeah, we'll just cut it down as far as we can until it runs off. So, flooding problem stopped, yes? I hope. Let's turn that off for a second. Because that's also probably going to cause us some really, really heavy financial hits now. Oh. Well, that's hilarious. What's with the water from back here? Was that never going to flow all the way out anyway, or what? Oh no, there it comes. So that was a bit of a surprising little escapade in water height management, and it's still not over. I mean, yeah, this used to be a dock on the water. Now it's starting to look more reasonable again. God, that was a surprise that we didn't expect. And now we've got all this coming in from the back, but that's not an issue at all. Here we also have like runoff problems basically every time the map starts, just because this is so close to the edge and the water source kind of goes a bit wonky. But this is actually the first time we've had a significant issue with water in the sense of why is everything flooding? And I thought I had moved sea level down, but apparently I hadn't, because that was really not fun at all. So can we still move it up a little bit more so that we can maybe get that harbor in reasonably well? Where is this going to wind up? That's the height it was before. That's actually a little bit lower than it was before. So I think that's also where we're going to want it. We're going to want to do some terraforming back here then again. Just to make sure they have a channel out. The last thing we need is our transport ships beaching. Now we're getting flooding here again. Low land value. It's always fun when a little mistake starts to drag huge amounts of repercussions with it. that's our new sea level. That should be fine. See if we can't raise their land value a little bit by getting them a little bit closer to the coast. The flooding obviously didn't help, but yeah, water should be able to flow over that just fine. And now this is sunk. Now this is underwater again for some weird or mysterious reason. Sometimes I think the game just really likes to troll me. But eventually I always win. Really set that in funny, didn't it? Oh, it actually is a little bit higher over there. Okay. Didn't notice that. Yeah, you're turned off anyway. You shouldn't really care. You're also turned off, so you also shouldn't really care. The important thing is, do you still have road access to the sea? Yes, you do. Not quite as much as we wanted, and that was the wrong button. And we actually need to lower it here a little bit as well, so that the offshore oil facilities are actually offshore. In fact, we'll just restore a bit of the oil industry coastline to the way it was, or closer to the way it was, I should say. Yeah, I mean, it did open us on the other sides of the city. It opened us up some nice land that we can do something with if we want to, or we can just cut it back and let the sea flow back in. It's basically up to us now. This should all flow out just fine, because it will eventually reach this height, I hope. We may actually, you know what? Just to make sure we keep water in here. More should flow back in there from that direction as well. It's going to be interesting to see if we have water again tomorrow, or rather in the next episode. So, but yeah, this is working again. That's beached again. Well, semi-beached. That is a beach again. Everything up here is fine again. Yeah, I don't think anybody's having to go search for their kayak anymore, so what we will, however, do is also connect that one up, of course, to the train line, even though it's also not being used yet. Again, just a long-term preparation. Let's just take that kink out a little bit. That should work just fine. And now all of these are also connected to each other. Not that that really matters, because the chance of them sending cargo from here to here by a train is like almost zero, but I have seen it happen, so. And again, this one is basically just inactive. That one's just for show. Well, right now it's just for show. We may actually wind up using it, so. And the chat is out for the second time. That's generally a sign that we've hit the 1 hour mark. We've got people moving back in again. That's good. That means the flooding didn't cause any long-term damage. We've got positive income again. Again, no long-term damage. Ooh, what the? A lot more tourists than I would generally expect. Especially since we don't even actually have a tourism industry, so. Wow. Where's tourism on this? There it is. Okay, that's a bit surprising. Well, actually, we have like light tourist attractions basically dotted like more or less throughout the entire city. Actually, some of those aren't even half bad. Especially like Central Park. Maybe. That all wasn't such a bad idea after all. So exactly, now we can start emptying those cemeteries again. Because now we don't have tons and tons of dead people from other reasons. So we're still getting the whole we don't have enough buyers for products issue, because we never, in these last 2 hours, got around to creating much more than this. Although this little commercial hub really isn't half bad, actually. I kind of like where it sits, too. But if we're gonna leave this here, we're definitely gonna want public transportation in some way, shape, or form. Ooh, that's bad. Why is that so bad? Because we went up. Oh yeah, I know what we can do here. See if that doesn't help. I generally prefer to go. And go for 2 lanes here again. And that should kind of degum this, I hope. Because we've got 1 line going off there, and then we got 2 going straight through. Go up 1 more. And then it's just the issue that these are just probably too close together. Because a lot of these are actually just wanting to go straight through here. Where are they coming from? These are coming from here and from here. Yeah, so that's really primarily just an issue of just massive use. I mean, they can't even get out. Super, super stress-free. Actually, they can. No crosswalks. Pick your lane. In fact, we will ban traffic on that lane and force them in. Like that. That should get them out of each other's way there at least. And that will hopefully help this clear up a little bit, because this jumping over 3 lanes, that's what's causing us a problem here. And the question is, why are they jumping over 3 lanes? There's absolutely no reason to do that. Can we get a section of 2 lane here in the middle? No, it's not tight. It's too tight for that. But what we can do is move this node to up there, and anarchy in another one. And right about here, giving them an extra chance to switch lanes, because that node will now stay. We could actually even try and see if it doesn't actually help by going to a 2 lane here in that little section. It doesn't actually help, but it literally doesn't really hurt much either. I think that's working better, having that second node, because then they just come over here and then they just jump over again. This works much better. Yeah. Problem is that those are just way too close together, basically. And there's just way too much traffic on them. But we are actually well above an hour again. So, yeah, we'll have to leave it at that for today, and hope it's not going to kill us tomorrow, or next episode, I should say. So, yeah, with that, again, if you like what you've seen, please feel free to follow me on Twitch, or like and subscribe on YouTube. And, yeah, you guys have been great. I've been Zerb, and I'll see you all again tomorrow. Cheers! And if you're here in the Twitch stream, I'll actually be back in about 5 minutes for one final episode for today. But I just need the